Know that the
Today, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 16 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal. And this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. So this game, Charles, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that, and by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
It was just 3rd down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
Yeah, that's just the 3rd play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3-and-out. They did. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Cousins. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to have it here just past the 25. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defense.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. And Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. To throw is Wentz. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this one is we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. One interception. It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
A first down throw for Cousins. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. No score after 1 on EA Sports. A second down throw for Cousins. And this one is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 17-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
It's amazing how much advice defensive players get on third down. You hear the bench screaming out, watch the draw, watch the screen, watch the pass here. Very rarely do they reference watching the fullback, and he slipped through and picked up a first down.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
2nd and goal from the 1. Again, it's Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Week 9 here in the National Football League. We'll have 9 weeks to go after this. We got a couple of good matchups in prime time to wrap up the first half of the season. Tonight, Tennessee and KC in the AFC. And then tomorrow night, an interconference matchup. Baltimore and New Orleans from the Superdome. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Straight ahead, Gibson. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Throw right side, taken in by Gibson. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Now he dumps this off over the middle, and they'll get him down here at the 23. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try.
All the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Cousins now. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Jordan Berry out to punt on 4th down. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz now on first down. That one is slant to McLaurin. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wentz again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they can at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Sly able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We start up at Soldier Field, Miami, making the trip north to take on Chicago. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. James Washington, a touchdown reception. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And they trail the visiting Green Bay Packers as that one's gone to halftime. The Packers locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Finally, we're off to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Jalen Hurts has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. His guys take the lead into the third quarter as we head back to FedEx Field and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A give up the middle to Gibson. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Here's Wentz to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. This looks like a roughing call. Well, that flag puts him on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, that was an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple. Throwing now is Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Turner. Touchdown, Washington. Cole Turner. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Commanders have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, you know, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete there to Smith. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Cousins on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Cousins. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Cousins. High throw, but he makes the catch. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 25 yards that time.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Cook will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Wentz now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Wentz. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. Wentz finding McLaurin there for the Commanders first. Here's a give to Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Wentz now to throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Wentz going to throw. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end Bates. And he is going to have a Washington 1st down. They didn't get a lot, but they do convert on 4th. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Again, it's Wentz. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. 1st down. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On 2nd and 10. Wentz. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. On the give, this is their fullback. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins. Wide open receiver complete. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Cousins. He's got his big wide receiver complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Throwing here, Cousins. That is caught inside the 5. And the Vikings are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run for it with Cook. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Badgley on for the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So Wentz and the Commanders down 21-10, 57 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Clock running as Washington will try and hurry up. Wentz's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And he's going to pick up a first down here as that clock continues to run. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Vikings, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now.
I'm a OG boy. Know that the